Okay, the nickname Slider, it's a boring story. I actually got the name because I was an MC when I was younger, right? And at that time you had to have an MC name. So I went through a few names which I was giving myself. Some of the names are embarrassing, but I just like, oh, what should I call myself? And everybody had it, like they called it a tag back then. It's probably changed now, but the older generation remember tags. What's your tag, So I had things like, I called myself, this is the embarrassing one to be honest, but in the spirit of honesty that I preach. You might not know what it is, but I called myself first of all Gallus. Now Gallus is, why are people laughing like, what, could I not be a Gallus? Now I'm even more embarrassed. No, but I called myself Gallus, right? And to be very honest, I was someone who never got girls. So I don't even know why I called myself that. Maybe I was hoping that maybe if I, spoke it into existence, maybe I would get some girls. And I didn't, So I had that name for about a year, then I decided to make a change. Then I called myself Thriller, just because. I called myself Anonymous, just because. I was about to call myself Silver, just because. Then I started going through the dictionary, looking at different names, right? Thinking, what would be a good name? And I started thinking, do you know what? I should have a name that ends with ER because it rhymes with so much stuff. So when I'm writing my lyrics, I can rhyme it with my name. So then I remember just thinking Slider, and I thought, oh, Slider sounds like a good name, and I chose it. Now, that's actually how I got the name. But how everyone thinks I got the name was around that time when I got that name, literally there was this guy from, I think he came from Australia, he moved to my school, and he used to like lock and pop and do dancing, and I remember seeing him think of, wow, like that's amazing. So I started learning how to do it, as well as like, you probably don't know who this guy is, or you might not, let me not make the assumption, you might know. A few years ago, there was a group on Britain's Got Talent called Flawless. They were a dance group. They were on Britain's Got Talent, maybe you guys are all too young. Okay, the older generation remember, thank you. And the guy who started that group, his name is Marlon, he was a year above me, and he was always sliding in school and dancing. He used to play basketball, and I remember watching and just thinking, I want to learn how to do that. So I started learning how to do that. So every moment of the day, I was always gliding. So then when people are like, oh, what's your name? They're like, I'll be a Slider. They're like, oh, it makes sense. And I'm like, well, that's not actually how I got the name, but cool. It makes sense, So that's how people thought I got the name, but I just chose it.